Our national parks are an American triumph, a celebration of our land, a testament to the blessings that we inherited from our forefathers. We, the American people, have chosen 50 of our most precious, most irreplaceable, most unique areas and set them aside as preserves, keeping these wild and beautiful places in trust for the future. We were the first country to decide that such a step was not only desirable, but necessary. And the American park system is the largest and most varied in the world.
It's dark in here. Watch out for this part here.
Wind and water etch magnificent monuments from solid rock. The land seems to live and breathe before our very eyes. Fascinated, we can contemplate either the differences or the similarities between a rampant forest of sandstone spires and the lush, verdant growth of a rainforest. Our parks provide haven for threatened wildlife and preserve the fragile natural beauty of the wilderness. Familiar summer images of Yellowstone's geysers and hot springs always gladden the eye. But few realize that in winter, Yellowstone takes on a frosted majesty of unparalleled splendor. fur trappers told of a land perpetually afire, of water that blazed and burst from the ground, and of boiling emerald pools lying jewel-like under the sun. They told of nature's children running free, a land of great bears, and limitless herds of elk and bison. Youngest of the Rockies, the jagged Tetons rise precipitously from the plain. Autumn surrounds them with gold and brings on the frosted air hints of approaching winter. In the valley below, moose and elk can only wait for the impending onslaught of snow. In the sub-zero temperatures, everything, including the battle for survival, intensifies. The beauty of winter sometimes masks the harsh reality of an implacable nature. Washington Irving wrote, "There is a serene and settled majesty in woodland scenery that enters into the soul and delights and elevates it and fills it with noble inclinations." The village of Cades Cove, where early American settlers first worked the land's rich soil, is now part of the national park, adding a dimension of recent human history to the ancient forest. Freeman Tilden, in his book, The National Parks, wrote, "As you journey through Glacier, your impression will be of mountains that are on the march. The transition from the rock fastnesses of the Continental Divide to the limpid and tree-fringed glacial waters will remain always in your memory." Spring in the high reaches of Glacier is a time of melting snow catching the rays of the warming sun. It is a time of rich colors, of mountainsides bursting with new life. It's as if each spring creates the park anew. Canada's Waterton Lakes Park joined Glacier to form an international peace park, a unique bond of friendship between two countries. Drifting fog can fill the Grand Canyon, obscuring, if only for a moment, the immense scale of what the Colorado River has carved. The power of the rushing water can only be appreciated by looking in awe at its handiwork, following the course of the river as it plunges down through the precipitous cliffs it has created. man has stood within this deep place before, watching as the water carves the canyon, seeing time itself flow through the solid rock, leaving the heart of the earth exposed in its wake. John Wesley Powell, making the first known run through the Grand Canyon, wrote in his journal, "Turning around, we can look through the cleft through which we came and see the river with towering walls beyond. What a chamber for a resting place is this." A seacoast, an alpine range, and an amazingly fertile forest combine to create a park where summer and winter can coexist. Snow high above, virtual jungle below. Olympic's deep, dense, Hoh rainforest is rare in the temperate latitudes. Where the rain falls, there is paradise. Where the land stands free before the rain, the land will blossom, opening its many eyes to find the sun. The rain will find its way down through the wilderness, filling valleys with life as it resolutely makes its way back to the sea. We need the tonic of wilderness. While we seek to know all things, we need all things to be unknowable, air and land and sea. there is a place where earth and water met and joined. A place that could not make up its mind whether to become land or sea, so it became both. Here can nature's handprint be plainly seen, each finger pointing out a separate path toward survival. Like the patterns of a fingerprint, the interwoven web of life dances about itself, each element separate and yet irrevocably joined. Mormon pioneers saw the celestial city here in the sculptured rocks. They called it Little Zion. The great white throne of Zion reminds us that the Native Americans revered the canyon as a holy place and preserved it from intrusion. Sometimes we need to be reminded that, like all living things, we cling precariously to the surface of this planet. We do not own this earth, we share it. No place is so rare as Yosemite. Its granite walls tasseled with waterfalls, its meadows full of wildlife, its high country a realm of lonely grandeur. The national parks were created to ensure the survival of irreplaceable wildlands, but also to allow us to see the wonders of nature close at hand. By living for a moment in the midst of these wonders, we will find ourselves all the more eager to preserve them, so that they can continue as they are, haven for both nature and ourselves. The seasons flow through our national parks in a parade of color and incident, of sunlight and ice. If the parks are indeed gems, they are many-faceted, offering splendidly divergent visions of our natural heritage. A poet wrote, "The earth never tires. The earth is rude, silent, incomprehensible at first. Be not discouraged. Keep on. There are divine things well enveloped. I swear to you, there are divine things more beautiful than words can tell."